Okay, I think we have a decent number of students in the webinar, so we'll begin the webinar right away. So a very good evening to all the panelists and attendees. I'm Khushi Javeri, the Study Abroad Coordinator for University of Tokyo in the office and the facilitator for today's webinar. I have been joined by Ms. Sakshi from Ritsumeikan APU as the sub-facilitator. We are here again for the Global Network Project of University of Tokyo in the office, and we hope to encourage you to pursue your further studies in Japan. In today's webinar, we have been joined by several renowned universities in Japan, and each of these universities will give us a 20-minute presentation about their undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral programs, followed by a 5-minute Q&A session. We have our expertise who will help you today with any questions you have regarding Japanese universities and the life in Japan. Please post your questions in the Q&A portal and not the chat box. The chat box is only for the panelists and the representatives of the university. So if you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the Q&A portal. And panelists, please make sure to turn off your video and audio when you're not presenting. Also, we'll be sharing a questionnaire in the chat box and a separate survey towards the end of the webinar. Both of them are for different purposes. So I would like to request all the attendees to fill up the questionnaire and the survey by the end of today's webinar. Now I'll be sharing the agenda of today's webinar. I hope everyone can see my screen. So first, we'll begin the webinar with a brief introduction by Ms. Sakshi, the Assistant Manager of University of Tokyo in the office. Then we'll have a presentation of the study and work life in Japan by Ms. Sakshi Verma, an alumni of Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University in 2022, followed by Toyo University by Mr. Ryosuke Hori, the inbound coordinator. Then we'll have a presentation by Tokyo International University by Ms. Arushi Malhotra, the India representative of Tokyo International University. And lastly, we'll have a presentation by Kyoto University of Advanced Science by Mr. Kiyoshi Takeda, the International Office Director, and Abhiraj Singh, a student of KUAS. Now I'd like to request Ms. Sakshi Roy to begin the webinar with a brief introduction.
Thank you, Ms. Kushi, for the introduction. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sakshi Roy, and this program is hosted by the University of Tokyo in the office and brought to you by MEX, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology in Japan. So, I would like to welcome all of the experts we have from national and private universities in Japan and our amazing attendees from different parts of the world. So, thank you very much for taking out time to attend this webinar today. For about our office, we are the part of Study in Japan Global Network Project in Southwest Asia by MEXT, and we provide comprehensive information on Japanese universities. And we also organize these education fairs and seminars throughout India. So today is the 13th day of our webinar series of Study and Work in Japan session 13 2022, and all these webinars are basically designed to introduce to some of the best Japanese universities, and we'll be discussing the various programs and opportunities to study and work in Japan in our online session. So there will be 3 to 4 different Japanese universities representing in each session, national, public, and private universities. And all the universities will be basically focusing to introduce English-based programs that are offered by them. So in Japan, there has been total approximately 700 plus universities as well as specialized vocation institutions. So if you're interested to study in Japan, in the world's third largest economy, you have so many options to choose from. And the academic options for international students are nearly boundless in Japan. So I request you all to please stay tuned with us till the end of the session and join our future webinars to learn about opportunities to study and work in Japan. Also, please note down the contact addresses of each respective university, and then you can directly contact them in case if you have any questions. So yeah, that's it from my side. I ensure that this webinar will be profitable, and the next few hours it will be enjoyable and fruitful for every one of you. So thank you very much. Please enjoy today's session.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sakshi, for starting the webinar with a great introduction. Now, I'll reshare the agenda slide. Now we'll have a presentation by Ms. Sakshi Verma from Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University, and she'll talk a little about her study and work life in Japan. And I believe her experience would really benefit you and give you an insight into both aspects, the work life and study life in Japan. So now I'd like to request Ms. Sakshi Verma to give us an insight into your experiences in Japan.
Thank you, Ms. Khushi, and thank you, University of Tokyo, for providing me this platform to share my experiences with all our potential students who are aiming for Japan. So I would like to share my screen.
Ms. Sakshi, we cannot really see you at the moment. Is there a technical difficulty with the camera?
I think you can see because I have logged in with my two PCs, so I think you can see me from the other PC, I guess.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you for the presentation. You can continue.
Okay. Sure. Thank you so much. So hi, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Sakshi, and today I'm going to present my experiences on study and work in Japan. So to begin with, I basically was born and raised in New Delhi, India, and I completed my bachelor's from University of Delhi. After that, I started working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan's entity, which is called the Japan Foundation New Delhi, as a PR and marketing coordinator. Simultaneously, I started taking interest in learning languages, and I pursued Japanese language because that time the Japanese companies were investing quite a lot in India, and I thought it will be a very good opportunity for me to start learning the language. That's how I ended up learning the language, and I started working for Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University as an assistant manager, where I used to promote the study in Japan for Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University, as well as for other universities in Japan. However, during my term in working for APU, I got a chance to visit Japan, and I spoke a lot with the Indian students and their experiences who were that time studying in Japan. And I thought that why not? I should also try and basically go for my master's. So I went for my MBA at Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University, and I graduated in March 2022 from MBA. And currently, I'm working for a Tokyo Stock Exchange company in the field of IT and consulting. And I basically look for the business development platform. So that's a little bit a background of me. How did I end up in Japan and what I'm doing it currently? So why did I choose Japan? Apart from the reasons, my personal reasons I mentioned before, Japan, as we know, is considered that one of the most safest country in the world. So I thought that, I mean, like as compared to other Western countries, I can definitely consider myself peaceful and safe in this particular environment. Second is, as a student, we do have a lot of part-time job opportunities, and as a student we Indians tend to save a lot, so it is an affordable living in this atmosphere. Third is the health policy. So Japanese, once you land into Japan, the Japanese government will give you a 70% cost reduction. So you need to basically talk to university, and as well as the Japanese government will be giving you the health insurance. So it covers a lot for in terms of your health policies. Fourth is the public transport. So I live in Tokyo. However, when I need to commute somewhere, I use public metros, I use buses, which is has a very great connectivity. And lastly, the job opportunities for the foreign nationals. So as we know that Japan has also opened the borders, so there are lots of companies, lots of foreign friendly companies, and lots of job opportunities for the foreign nationals in Japan. So why did I choose APU? So APU is basically has one of the diverse and multicultural environment. APU is known for its lots of students are from different part of the world come together and study together. So you get to know a lot of cultural knowledge, you share your experiences, and you get to know a lot of cultural differences as well, which is a learning. Second is the essential network building. So APU, basically in APU, I got to create a lot of network with the admissions office, with the career offices, with the various business industry people coming to the university. So that was quite an experience part from my side, on my side. And third is about the university supported programs. So so I was basically a private funded student. I was never a MEX or a JICA student. However, I was solely completely on my private I was private expenses. So university provided me a lot of help and support in terms of various programs like scholarship programs, and they also conducted lots of workshop on campus. Like I said, I was a private funded student, so I looked for a lot of opportunities, the scholarship opportunities, and I got a scholarship which you receive once you roll into the university. Lastly, about the part-time jobs, which is also known as Baito. So I worked a lot on campus, off campus. So it was like I was focusing on the academic side, as well as I engaged myself in a lot of extra co-curricular activities. So to give you a brief of what I did, how I utilized that opportunity in the international environment. First is in terms of academic side. I focused on participating in various case competitions since I was a management student, and we got a lot of inter-university case competitions where I participated with Kyushu University. So we participated in entrepreneurship boot camps. So initially it was supposed to happen in United States. However, due to COVID restrictions, we could not travel. So it was conducted online. And it was a good learning experience for me because I participated with the various people, various students coming from all over the world. And it sort of gave me it sort of helped me to grow into that particular environment. Second is like the part-time jobs. So like I mentioned, I was doing part-time jobs on campus as a TA, as a team leader, as helping my university in terms of promotion, and the list goes on. Third is I was also the resident assistant for the university. So once you enroll into the international university in Japan, so you will basically receive the dormitory support from the university. All the Japanese universities provide you the dormitory, so you receive that support, and you can also become a resident assistant if you have those skills, if you really want to help the international residents in terms of making them safe in their dormitory. So I was also working as a resident assistant. Fourth is I was also helping my admissions office. So I was like uh, helping the potential students who wants to go to Japan, helping with their queries, posting about the applications, and a lot more. So after that, like I said, I graduated in March 2022, and it's been 6 to 7 months approximately. I wanted to explore myself more into Japan. So I started looking for jobs while I was in the university. And how did I look for the job is on the screen. I participated in various career fairs and seminars. So when you need to want to work in Japan, you need to start look for the job or jobs 6 months to 7 months before, because the Japanese companies believes in recruiting students before they graduate. So you need to basically start looking for the jobs. You need to participate in the career fairs, in the seminars which they conduct. So these career seminars conducted in the various parts of Japan. So you can travel, you can have your resume in your hand, you can talk to those industry people, you can share your experiences, and that's how you build a lot of good connections. Second is there are various recruitment websites. So you can register your resume over there. You can talk to the recruiters, give them a call, tell them that you are looking for a job in Japan, and tell them about your experiences, and that's how they help you in finding a suitable position for your interest. So what's the job market in Japan? So this is, I'm sharing from my personal experiences. So what's the situation like in Japan once you graduate? So we know that Japan is facing a lot of shortage of human resources. So there is, to give you some brief stats, so Japan, by 2030, Japan will face 6.4 million workers shortage, so which makes the wages hikes, increase in childcare and other labor related reforms vital to ensure a stable workforce. So companies that use there are some companies where they require certain skills like the Japanese skills, so you need to have at least N2 to find a job in Japan. So apart from your Japanese language skills, you need to have a good communication skills and good technical skills. So these skills are really important in order to find a job. However, it's not restricted within that part. Even though you cannot have JLPT N2, there are very foreign friendly companies where you can apply and you can get a job. So I'll talk about that a later part. However, to focus on the Japanese part, Japanese N2, basically Japanese companies believe, because you will be communicating with a lot of internal Japanese employees, so you need to have some sort of understanding in order to understand what your employees and your clients are saying. So you need to have a little advanced level of Japanese level. That's why the Japanese company prefers you to have at least N2. Like I said, it's not restricted to only N2. You can also apply for the jobs like recruitment. You can, if you are looking for a foreign friendly company, so you can go for the MNCs, you can go for the consulting firms. So company where expert knowledge of a foreign language is a highly requested skill, and the companies that are facing difficulty filling their positions with the Japanese nationals. So foreigners are also required, and they can also find works in like sales, internal consulting, training, export import, logistics, and tourism and hospitality. So you can also find a job in that particular field. Lastly, maintaining work life is very important. So we have this myth that Japanese people work overtime and they work a lot, and you cannot leave your office without your boss's permission. So that's not at all true. Let me give you a clear picture. Working overtime is not appreciated in Japan. Some companies allow you to only work 48 hours per month, which means if you complete your work, it depends upon you how you complete your tasks. If you have given some task, you can complete that within the 8 hours you get in a day, or you want to stretch, it depends upon you. So it basically depends how you want to work. What's your take on how you what sort of tasks are given to you? So you need to figure out that. So maintaining work life is very important. So I don't personally believe working in overtime. So I finish my work till 5:30, because my office starts from 9 to 5:30, 9 and until 5:30. So after that, I go out with my friends. I have after coming to Tokyo, I have started creating a lot of friend circle. So I go out, I meet international people. There's a meetup group. You can build a lot of community with the Indians surviving here. So so there are lots of options. Having said that, apart from the apart from the metropolitan cities like Tokyo or Osaka, you can also find a good job opportunities in countryside. So countryside like Fukushima or say other parts of Japan, you can find a very good job. Even the MNCs or other Western companies are also investing there. So they're establishing their firms over there. So you can also find a good job in the countryside, and you can save a lot as compared to the cities like Tokyo or Osaka. So that's it. Thank you for listening me. I hope I could answer a little bit, I could give you a little bit preview of what it is have as an international person surviving in Japan. So Japan awaits you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to share it on the Q&A portal. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sakshi, for the very insightful presentation. I think many of the things that you mentioned would really benefit the prospective international students. And I personally also agree on many things that you spoke about. So thank you very much for the very honest and insightful presentation.
Thank you so much, Ms. Khushi.
Now I'll be sharing the agenda once again. So now we'll have a presentation by Toyo University. First, I'll talk a little about the university. So Toyo University is one of the most comprehensive and largest private universities in Japan. It has a very global atmosphere and provides several well-designed undergraduate and graduate programs to international students. Several globally oriented programs and employment opportunities are given to students coming from the overseas. So now I'd like to request Mr. Hori to give us an insight into the university and encourage students to pursue their further studies in the university.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Kushi. And thank you for organizers for providing this precious opportunity for us to introduce our universities. So hello, everyone. Welcome to the session. My name is Ryosuke Hori. I work for the International Affairs Office at Toyo University. Okay, so within my presentation, I'd like to briefly introduce about our university, and I hope I can talk about a little bit about our scholarship program that we are going to launch next year. Okay, so again, the name of our university is Toyo. Okay, and today's organizer is Tokyo, the University of Tokyo. It's very confusing. It's Toyo versus Tokyo, right? Whether it has K or not, but that makes a very, very big difference. Okay, so your homework is, to say Toyo in Tokyo. Then you will remember our university name for next 10 years. Right, so say Toyo in Tokyo maybe 20 times after my presentation. Okay, so Toyo University, we are a private university, and we started as a very small philosophy school in Tokyo. And we have 135 years history. So it's one of the largest and oldest private universities in Japan. And our main campus, as I said, is located in Tokyo. That's, of course, the capital city of Japan. It's very international, exciting, and I'd say it's one of the best study abroad destinations for you guys. And I'd like to explain why later on. So here is the map of our 5 different campuses. The main campus is at the very center of Tokyo. Okay, and the other campuses are located in kind of suburbs of the Tokyo area. So here are some pictures from our main campus. This is the tallest building on our campus. And another one with the buildings with many classrooms and research rooms. And here's a picture from the above. So it's not in the commercial area, actually. It's right in the kind of housing area, so it's not very busy. It's not really, you see many people around the campus. So it's a very nice environment, and there are many restaurants, shops around the campus, so it should be very convenient. So some key numbers here. So the student population of our university is more than 31,000, and including 1,700 international students. And we have many students from India, some from Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Nepal. So yeah, we can say it's a very international campus. And as for the academics, we have 45 different programs in undergraduate and 36 in postgraduate level, okay? And we are leading college sports area. So we have had several Olympic medalists, including gold medalists. And we have had many professional athletes, and upper graduates. So we are very active in sports as well. So here's a list of programs that we offer. So we mostly cover major academic fields. You can see here literature, philosophy, education, economics, business, law and sociology, global and regional studies. This is more like social studies. And the next, welfare and society, sports health, biology, food science, computer science, and engineering. Okay, as you see, what we are missing is a fine art school and medical school. Okay, so if you're interested in becoming a medical doctor, for example, or if you're interested in like sculpture drawings, Toyo may not be a good choice. But other than those, we cover most major academic fields. So that was a very quick introduction of Toyo University. Okay, and here let's change the topic a little bit. Most of you may be interested in studying abroad. Well, your destination may not be Japan, but basically you have interest in doing study abroad. So probably these three concerns would be the most common ones for people who are considering study abroad. So I say LMS, these three big concerns. Okay, sounds like L size, M size, S size, like French fries T-shirt, but it's not actually. So L, let us start with L. L stands for language. Okay, language. Of course, if you study abroad, you may have to learn a new language, right? Because you are now attending this webinar in English, I assume that everybody's okay with English. And well, at Toyo, most programs are offered in Japanese. So you have to have a Japanese language skill when you come or when you apply for Toyo. But this program, Faculty of Global and Regional Studies, this program is offered all in English. This is undergraduate, okay? And two departments under this faculty, Global Innovation Studies and Regional Development Studies. So these two programs are offered all in English. So when you apply for the program, you don't have to have any Japanese like test score, like JLPT or EJU, okay? Well, just having an English test score is enough, right? So if you're interested in completing the program all in English, well, and if your interest is in one of these programs, then you're lucky, okay? And we have other 9 English medium programs in postgraduate level, but just for today, I will introduce about the undergraduate programs. Of course, you are, living in Japan. You have to survive the life in Japan. Okay, so you will be required to study Japanese to a great extent as an international student, and we have a very good Japanese language program in regular curriculum, and also you can attend some extracurricular Japanese language programs. And we also offer many social activities related to the Japanese culture and society. So that was our response to the language issue. So let's go to S. Can you guess what it stands for? S. It stands for safety. Okay. Nobody wants to go study abroad in a place where you always have to feel like danger and risk. I'm very proud to inform you that according to this Safe City Index 2021, Tokyo ranked number 5 safest city in the world, not in Japan, but in the world. Okay. I'm very proud of this because as a resident of Tokyo, I don't really feel, danger or risk in our daily life. Okay, of course, you have to be careful of where to go and when, but I can say in general, Tokyo is a very safe place to live. So as an international student, it's important to be in a safe place because you want to focus on your study, you want to focus on your social activities. So yeah, this is one of the biggest reasons why I say Tokyo is one of the best study abroad destinations in the world. Okay. By the way, in 2019, so 3 years ago, Tokyo was number 1. I don't know what happened. It's kind of disappointing, to be the 5th safest city, but still, number 5 is okay. I mean, it's pretty good. Okay. So that was our response to S, that's safety. And the last one is M. I guess you can guess what it stands for, what I'm going to say. It's about money, okay, money. That's everybody's concern. So to respond to your financial concerns or issue, so we decided to offer this scholarship called Toyo SDGs Ambassador Scholarship for International Students. This is going to be launched from next year. So it's very brand new. And the good news is not many people still don't know about this program. So you may be lucky, it might be less competitive for this year's admissions. Okay. So, so this is the program offered to only undergraduate students, not graduate students, sorry. So for graduate students, there are some other scholarship programs. So please, visit our website for more information. So I just want to focus on this scholarship program for undergraduate students today. So many of you may not be familiar with SDGs. It stands for Sustainable Development Goals. It's a package, or I'm going to say a set of 17 goals set by the United Nations, for sustainable development and kind of sustainable life in the future. Okay, so we are looking for students who are interested in kind of doing research or achieving these SDGs, the sustainable development goals. Okay, so we call them ambassadors, right? So if you are selected as an ambassador, you will get 4 major benefits. The first one is tuition waiver. So the first year, your tuition will be exempted 100%. So you don't have to pay anything. It will be 0. Okay. So from second year through the graduation, 4th year, you will get 60 to 100% discount. Okay. So it depends on your grades, your GPA. You work hard and your grades are good, then you will get 100%. So 80, not so good, 60. Okay. But you still, you will get something about tuition. And the second part is accommodation. So Toyo University has 2 international residents for 4 years until your graduation. Toyo University will cover your housing fee, and you will be allowed to stay in one of our dorms. That's pretty good because living in Tokyo is pretty expensive and housing is amazingly expensive. Okay, so you're lucky. We cover your housing. Okay. The third one is kind of minor one. You will get on-campus part-time job opportunities as like a student assistant or a teaching assistant. And the last one is SDGs activity support. So each ambassador will have a faculty advisor. So your one of the professors will be your advisor, and he or she will take care of like monitoring, advising your activities. Okay. So these are 4 benefits that you will get as SDGs ambassadors. So unfortunately, not all departments will accommodate the ambassadors. So here's the list of programs that accommodate SDGs ambassadors. So if you are interested in studying all in English, these 2, Global Innovation Studies and Regional Development Studies, these 2 are the programs that you can apply for the SDGs ambassador. Okay. For the Japanese tracks, these are the programs. But please be noted that you have to have a JLPT N2 level or EJU 300 points or above to apply for these programs. Okay, so yeah, you have to have certain Japanese proficiency level at the time of your application, right? Well, even if you're not selected as an SDGs ambassador, Toyo is generous to provide you 30% discount for the first year and 20 to 40% discount, tuition discount from the second year to 4th year until your graduation. So we are generous because all international students will get this. All international students, as long as you have a student visa, you will be eligible to apply for 30% or 20 to 40% tuition discount. Okay, so unfortunately, it's not like 90%, 100% discount, but still, you'll get something. Don't you think it's good news, right? So that was our responses to the main 3 major concerns that for study abroad. So language, money, and safety. Okay, I hope you see some hopes for study abroad. So this is the employment rate for 2021 graduate, 97.6%. So well, this is not quite high in terms of the Japanese standard, but it's very possible that you can find a job in Japan. Okay, sorry. So a little bit about admissions. So because I work for undergraduate programs, let me introduce the undergraduate admissions only here. Okay, so we have 3 application periods, and the first 2 are already over. So the next application period that you can apply for is in mid-February. Okay, and that is for September 2023 start. Okay, so we accept students to global innovation studies and another computer science program. Okay, so if you're interested in like social studies or computer science, you can apply in mid-February. Okay, so what you need to do, well, everything is done online, so you don't have to come to Japan for the written test or interview. So basically you prepare your application documents, okay, and you upload those documents on our admissions website. Then we'll give them document screening. Then some of you are invited to the interview. Okay, then you get results online. Then you complete the enrollment procedure online. So the first time that you come to Japan is maybe before the matriculation. Okay. Right. So I just briefly talked about our university and our scholarship program. But if you have any questions, if you need more further information, please contact this email address, mlglobal@toyo.jp. So we can communicate and exchange information. Okay, so this is for the undergraduate admissions inquiry contact. So if you would like to know about our graduate programs, well, please email this email address anyway first. Okay, then we will direct your message to a relevant graduate school office. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you very much. I think Q&A time will follow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hoi, for the very comprehensive presentation. Actually, I want to ask you several questions, but right now we'll prioritize students' questions in the Q&A portal. But thank you so much for the very insightful presentation. There are a couple of questions in the Q&A portal, which I would like to ask you.
Okay.
Are there engineering courses at your university for undergraduate or graduate programs?
Well, yes, definitely. There are several engineering programs like mechanical engineering, biomedical engineering, and architecture, and some others. And those programs are offered in Japanese, so you have to have JLPT N2 when you apply.
Right now, you mentioned about the undergraduate programs, but when it comes to graduate programs, what kind of fields or subjects do you offer?
Yes, so basically we offer most of the same programs as undergraduate. So earlier I showed you the list of programs that we cover. So if you see the list, the program in undergraduate, then there's also a graduate program for the graduate. So there's a equivalence in graduate level as well.
Thank you. Is there an MBA program at Toyo University?
Oh, yes. MBA is available in English.
You mentioned about the SDGs Ambassador Scholarship for undergraduate students, but can students also apply for other scholarships? Are there other scholarships other than SDGs Ambassador Scholarship at the university?
Yes. Actually, this is the most major one, and the other scholarships are like kind of one-shot type. Like you apply for, then you get like, for example, like $100 US, that kind of thing. So, well, I'd say this is the only scholarship that you can apply at the time of your admissions application.
Okay. Are there any transfer programs available for students who are already pursuing undergraduate degree in some other country?
Well, not really, unfortunately.
Are there exchange programs?
Exchange is available if we receive exchange students from our partner universities. So, well, if you're interested, you can Google like Toyo University partnership. Then we have a list of partner schools on our website.
Okay, and do these partner schools also include colleges or universities in countries in South Asia, like India or Nepal or Bangladesh?
Not many, but there are some. Yes.
Okay. Can students also get the MEC scholarship and come to Toyo University? Is there any association?
Oh, yes, definitely. We accept only on graduate level, we accept MEC scholarship students. Every year we have like 2 or 3, new incoming MEC scholarship students. And actually there have been like 5 or 6 Indian students from India with MEC scholarship. So it's very popular for students from India.
And it's mainly for graduate students.
Graduates, yes.
Are there any postgraduate programs?
Other
Postgraduate programs.
post-
Yes. If you have, do you have doctoral programs or?
oh yes, yes. Yeah, we have masters and doctors programs.
And they are provided in English.
Yes. Actually, 9 programs are offered in all in English, and the other like 30 something programs are in Japanese. So, but most English taught programs are kind of like the global studies or more like in very specific engineering, bio nanoscience programs that might be of interest for international students.
Right. Thank you. You mentioned about the MEC scholarship. I believe that there are 2 types: the university recommended and the embassy recommended. For graduate students, does the university recommend students for the MEC scholarship, or do they have to apply individually?
Okay, so for we have 2 types, of course, embassy recommendation and university recommendation, and we basically accept students through embassy recommendation, right?
Yes,
Of education.
I'm
We
sorry
have
for
a very
I'm sorry for interrupting, but I believe due to poor connection, we couldn't hear you.
sorry, Kushi-san. I couldn't really hear you. Could you say that again?
Could you repeat the answer for that question? I couldn't quite hear you.
Okay, sorry. So we basically accept students through embassy recommendation, right?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's now.
Not through the university recommendation. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And they're supposed to apply for the MEC scholarship after getting acceptance to Toyo University or before getting acceptance to Toyo University. How does the procedure look like?
Well, basically, when you what can I say? When you pass the selection of embassy and as a kind of non-regular student to Toyo, and most students study the Japanese language in the Japanese language school for 6 months, and then start the student for 1 semester or 2 semesters. Okay, then you get to know your research supervisor. You kind of get used to the life in Japan. Then you take the admissions exam for the graduate program. Then if you pass, then you will become a regular like master's or PhD student. So basically, you will come to Japan as a non-regular student who will study the Japanese language for the first 6 months.
Thank you. I'll just pick up 2 more questions due to time constraints. The first question is, you mentioned that you do have MBA program, right?
Yes.
So can one learn about business development, marketing, and what are the job opportunities like for students who have done MBA at the university?
Okay. I'm not very familiar with this program as I'm not working for directly with the graduate schools, but I think it's a standard MBA program with the focus of like marketing and marketing. So, and the job prospect is, well, maybe I do not want to, give you false information. So it will be better for you to check our website first and contact us if you have any questions. Sorry, I'm not very familiar with
No.
this program directly.
Yeah, I think in one of the slides you already mentioned the employment rate of students at your university. So I believe also students who are graduating from the MBA program do land up in great opportunities in Japan and elsewhere.
Oh yes,
Um,
yeah, of course, yeah. That's a very big advantage plus for job hunting. Yeah.
I have one last question. What are the PhD programs that you are providing to students?
PhD programs.
Yes, English PhD programs.
Okay, so I think you're now looking at this. You can see the slide of the list of courses. So, for example, there is a program in literature, global communication studies that's offered in English, and also business that's all in English, and global regional studies that's also in English. And the next slide here. Information science, that's more like computer science program, that's also in English. So there are like 7 8 PhD doctor programs offered in English.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hoi, for answering the questions. There's still many questions in the Q&A portal, and I'm sorry I couldn't ask all the questions because of the limited time. But Mr. Hori, I would be grateful if you could go to the Q&A portal and answer a couple of questions.
Sure.
Thank you to all the students for asking questions in the Q&A portal and for showing interest in Toyo University. And thank you, Mr. Hoi, for the presentation.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody.
We will proceed with the agenda today. I hope you can see the screen. Okay, so now we have a presentation by Tokyo International University. So TIU is one of the most well-renowned private universities in Japan. It possesses a highly diverse international learning environment with more than 1,300 students from 68 countries. It also provides an all-English curriculum to students interested in business, economics, and international relations. Job prospects also wide for students graduating from these programs. Now I'd like to request Ms. Arushi to give us an insight into the university.
Thanks, Rishi. Thank you so much for the introduction. I'll just share my screen quickly. Yeah. I hope you're able to see my screen now.
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Wonderful. So I'll just give a quick brief about Tokyo International University and what courses and what opportunities it has to offer to the international students. This is basically a pictorial representation of our campus, which is currently located in the greater Tokyo area. Just to give you a quick background about our university, just a second. Yeah. So just a little bit about TIU. We were established in 1965, and we are a private university, which provides a true globalized and international environment to all the students at our campus. So we have around more than 3,000 students on campus, out of which 20% are, we have around 7,000 students on campus, out of which 20% come from international backgrounds from across 70 nationalities. So we do not only have students coming from Japan, but we have students coming from countries like Indonesia, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, Singapore, Pakistan, India as well. And we have students coming from other European and American countries. Not only about the students, but about the teaching faculty as well. 70% of the teaching faculty present on campus are from international backgrounds. So the students who are studying at TIU do not have a communication barrier with the professors, and they're easily able to communicate with the teachers and are able to understand the concepts that are being taught in the classrooms. So in terms of the environment, it's a very diverse environment and a very international environment for the students. Talking about the location, we currently have one campus, which is located in the greater Tokyo area. We are also having a new campus opening next year, especially for the international students. The main highlight of the new campus is that it is situated in the heart of Tokyo city center. So the new campus will be open to all the international students from next year, and it is right in the center of Tokyo city, surrounded by all the necessary things that the students need. It's really in the center of everything that the students need, accessible to shopping plazas, if they are looking for any internships with business, with companies or industries, they do have a well-connected network in the new campus. Now, I think this might have been said earlier as well, but I'll just like to throw some light on the USPs of studying in Japan in terms of the safety for international students. So Japan has the third lowest violent crime rate. And as it was said earlier, that Tokyo has been ranked number 5 in the Safe Cities Index in the year 2021. Just another addition to it, Tokyo has also been ranked number 3rd for the best student city according to QS World Ranking, based on the review in 2022 itself. So in terms of safety, in terms of student comfort, Tokyo is really a destination that students can look for, and especially from an Indian point of view, where the parents are concerned about the students studying in a country apart from India. So it's very safe, it's very student friendly, and we have heard a lot of good feedback from Indian students as well as how comfortable the city is if they want to study in Tokyo and in Japan as well. Coming to the programs, we currently offer 3 undergraduate programs to international students. Although our university is pretty old, it was established in 1965. Our English taught programs started in 2014, but in India, we just started these English taught programs in 2016. So it's only been 6 to 7 years that we have started, interacting with the Indian students. And so far, we have seen quite an increase in the interest of students who want to study in Japan. So gradually, there is a very high increase in the number of Indian students who are now very much keen to study in Tokyo and in Japan. So coming to the programs, we have 3 majors which we offer, which are completely taught in English. The first one is the Bachelor of Arts in Business Economics, which is like a traditional BBA degree or a business management degree that you can call. Major focus areas that are included in this major is management, marketing, entrepreneurship, economics, and finance. So for students who are looking to get a basic but yet a complete knowledge about how businesses work and how the corporate sector functions, you can definitely explore this major. The second major that we have is the Bachelor of Science in Digital Business and Innovation. This is one of the most unique majors that we have to offer for international students, and it is one of the new majors as well at TIU. The main highlight of this course is that it's not only specific to one curriculum, but it's basically a combination of both science and management. So students who are interested to learn about computer science, but they also want to learn about business, you can definitely, go further and explore this course. The basically a mixture of both science and management. So for students who are interested to learn about artificial intelligence, machine learning, fintech, Python, and IT related subjects, along with business areas like HR management, digital marketing, social media marketing, global business management, then definitely this program is for you guys because it combines both science and management related programs. The third major that we have to offer is the Bachelor of Arts in International Relations for students who are more inclined towards working with the government, or they have a keen interest of knowing how different nations interact with each other, or who want to go into the political sector of the industry. So the major focus areas in this major is majorly international security, different culture and society. We also teach students about the Japanese history and Japanese culture and how the nation is being affected by that. So these are the 3 programs that we offer. We also, I forgot to mention that students who are enrolled in the Digital Business and Innovation program also get the benefit of our partnership with Tech Mahindra, which is a global IT company. So we have a partnership with Tech Mahindra. We have our own Tech Mahindra lab on campus for students to go further into research work with the industry people, or they also get internship opportunities with Tech Mahindra itself. As I mentioned, all the programs are completely taught in English. They are of 4 years duration. We don't expect students to know any Japanese language once they have joined the university, or before they have joined the university. There is no prerequisite of students knowing the Japanese language. All the courses are completely taught in English throughout the 4 years. We teach Japanese to all the international students once they join the university, hence making it a 4-year program, because in the first year, mostly the students will be learning about the Japanese language. So 90% of the time in your first year will be spent by you in learning the Japanese language, because we all know that you have to stay there for at least a minimum of 4 years if you're pursuing your undergraduation. So we teach you the Japanese language from the scratch, from literally the elementary level, from the alphabets and the numbers. Everything is taught to you, and it is inclusive of your 4-year program. Talking about our faculty, again, we do offer a state-of-the-art facility on campus in terms of the infrastructure and the classrooms, but we also offer a high-class faculty for all the international students. So we have professors and teachers who have graduated from globally ranked institutions like MIT, Columbia University, National University of Singapore, London School of Economics, and University of Sheffield, to name a few. Again, it's not only about the academics, but we are also very strong when it comes to the career support and career services that are offered to the international students. We offer one-on-one career counseling sessions to all the international students. There are a lot of workshops and seminars that are happening for the international students every year. And for the final year students who are just about to graduate, there is an on-campus career fair where more than 120 companies come on campus, and the students can directly sit for job interviews and interact with different companies. We also have Tokyo International University is proud to have a 97.6% employability rate, implying that majority of the students who graduate from the university end up getting jobs right before they graduate or just after they graduate. So as you can see, that the job opportunities for international students has been increasing steadily in the last 15 years. So the students are very much in demand. The international students are very much in demand in Japan and by Japanese companies. So there are a lot of opportunities when it comes to international students who are looking to settle in Japan or are looking to go into the corporate sector right after they graduate. Talking about the tuition fee, Tokyo International University is quite affordable when it comes to the tuition. As you can see, that at TIU, the tuition fees is around approximately $13,000 US, which is quite affordable when we compare it to other major study destinations like UK, Hong Kong, New Zealand, or Canada. Similarly, with the living cost, TIU is very proud to have a very affordable living cost. I mean, it's not only about TIU, but in Tokyo as well. So it might be expensive for some students, but we do have a lot of part-time job options or internship opportunities that the students can go for to kind of balance their finances. So the average annual total cost of studying at TIU, including the tuition and the living, comes to approximately 15 lakhs for 1 year. Again, when we compare the overall cost with other study destinations, it is quite affordable for students, and this cost is completely without any scholarship. Talking about the scholarships, we have tuition reduction merit-based scholarships for all the international students, which is valid for all the 4 years, but we require the students to maintain a particular GPA every year. So we have different rates of scholarships starting from 30%, 50%, 80%, 100%, which is completely based on merit. So we looked at your entire application, we looked at your entire portfolio, your curriculum, your academic score, your co-curricular activities, your English proficiency test, your LOR, your statement of purpose, whatever documents you're submitting, all of them are valued by the university's admission team, and then the scholarship is given to the students. So there is a chance if you are very academically excellent, then you might get a scholarship of somewhere between 80 to 100%, depending on other criteria as well. To apply to the university, our application process is completely online. There are no interviews or entrance examinations that are conducted. It's just a completely online application process. We don't require any GLPT scores as well. All we require is your 12-year education that can be from a CBSE board or an IB board or ICSE or state board, whatever board. We just need your class 10th, 11th, and 12th transcripts. Any English proficiency test would do. If you're giving IELTS, minimum marks to require is 5.5. Duolingo is also accepted with the minimum score of 60, and TOEFL is also accepted with the minimum score of 61. Apart from the academic scores, we also require a letter of recommendation from your school counselor. Up to 3 LORs can be submitted by the student side, and we also require a statement of purpose that has to be submitted during the application itself. So all the documents have to be submitted at the same time. So students who are interested to apply to Tokyo International University, we highly recommend that you have all your documents ready with you before you start the application process. Yes, so this is something that I already spoke to you about regarding the entrance entry requirements and the documents that we need. Coming to the key dates for our September 2023 intake, we have 2 intakes actually, April intake and November intake. So for students who are interested to apply next year in April, they can also apply. But right now I'm going to focus on the September intake. So for students who are looking to apply for September 2023, these are the application periods. So our first application period just opened this Wednesday on 26th October, and the deadline to complete your application is 16th of November. Similarly, we have different application periods in January, February, and March. So these are the different timelines. You can apply in whichever timeline you're comfortable, as long as you have all your documents prepared. So we recommend that students do not, go like, you don't have to just apply in the first window. As long as you have all your documents complete, even if you apply in the last window, your application will be considered. So there is no first come first serve basis to that. And if you want to apply in the April intake, we have a last application window, which is open. The application dates for the same are October 26 to November 16. So the first application period here is common for both April intake and September intake. So you can go ahead to our website and apply to the university directly. I'm also sharing some of the links in the chat box, which are the links to our website, the application guideline, and the prospectus of the university. You can refer to these links if you need further assistance in terms of the application process. That was all from my side. And if you need any further assistance, you can reach out to me on the email address that is provided here. I will write the same in the chat box as well. Please feel free to contact us if you are planning to apply to a university, or if you want to ask any other questions regarding the university or studying in Tokyo. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Arushi, for the very comprehensive presentation. We have a couple of questions in the Q&A portal, so I would go ahead and pick up a few questions for you to answer them. So the first question is, does Tokyo International University provide undergraduate courses in engineering or agriculture, biology, or anything in the science fields?
No, so the only program that we have in the science field is the computer science major that I spoke about earlier. So we are more of a business and management school. So we don't have agricultural or engineering related programs.
Okay, thank you. What are the graduate programs offered at TIU?
I'm so sorry, I'm just looking up at the undergrad program. We do have master's program in the same field. So we have a Master of Arts in Economics and a Master of Arts in International Relations, but it's very selective for students to get, it's very selective for Indian students to get admission into the postgrad programs because there are a limited number of seats. So if you are interested to apply for the postgrad programs, you can directly apply to the university or directly contact the university, and I'm sure they will help you on if you are eligible to apply or not.
Thank you so much. Do students at TIU live mostly in the dorms or the apartments nearby? Is there any for how many years can a student live in the dorm and when they need to leave the dorm?
Yes, that's a very good question. So for first year students, it is compulsory for them to stay on the dormitories provided by the university itself. So we have on-campus dormitories for all the first year students, which is like a 10 minutes walk from the main campus. And after the first year, the students will have to look for their own accommodations. Again, this university assists the students in finding the right accommodation near the campus.
Thank you. Are there internal, you mentioned about a couple of scholarships available at TIU, but can students apply for external scholarships as well, like MEXT or JASO?
Yes, the students can apply for the JASO scholarship and the MEXT scholarship. Once they have applied to the university and they have got their final offer letter, then the university will inform the students about the JASO scholarship. The students can directly apply for the JASO scholarship by being in touch with the university. And the MEXT scholarship as well, the students will be informed by the university of when they can apply.
And regarding the requirements, are students supposed to have a minimum SAT score or CBSE score or an IB score to apply to TIU, or is it flexible?
Sorry?
Do students need to get a certain percentage to apply to TIU, like a minimum score to get admission to TIU?
So the minimum for CBSE is 65% in the class 12. For IB, we require a minimum of 32 points out of a total of 45. Yeah, I think those are the two main boards that we consider. Apart from that, it's not necessary that the student should have a particular percentage. As I mentioned earlier, we look at all the other criteria as well, like your English proficiency test, your 10th and 11th transcripts. So all the documents are considered.
For students who have done their high school in an English international school, do they need to submit their proficiency scores, test scores?
So if they are from an IB or A level, then no, they are exempted from giving the English proficiency test. We consider their English HL and SL scores as equivalent to the English proficiency test. And if any student, for example, even from a CBSE background, has given a SAT score, then the English section of the SAT score is also equivalent to the proficiency test.
Thank you very much for answering the questions. I suppose all the questions have been answered, but students might ask questions later in the Q&A portal.
Yeah.
So you could go ahead answering them when other universities are present.
Definitely. I've also shared my email address and the university's email address in the chat box for all the students to refer if you have any questions after the webinar as well.
Perfect. Okay.
Right.
Thank you very much. So I hope students kind of got an insight into TIU. I would also like to remind students that the application guidelines and the process and the procedure for every university, in fact, every program is different. So you need to go to the program's website and check the guidebook, and the process, the procedure, the time, the deadlines, everything is written in the guidebook. So please check the guidebook of the program that you're interested in. And most of the universities, their application periods have already begun or will begin in November or mid-November. So please check the university websites if you want to enroll in September 2023 or April 2023. Some of the links are also shared in the chat box, so please refer to them after the webinar as well. I'll be resharing the agenda. So lastly, we have a presentation by Kyoto University of Advanced Sciences, and I'll talk a little about the university. So the Kyoto University of Advanced Science is an eminent private university with an all-English engineering program, which I believe would be very beneficial for you as many students are interested in science. And it is a very globally well-acclaimed university because of its remarkable contributions to advancing technologies. One of the most powerful CEOs of Japan, Mr. Nagamori Shigenobu, founded the Faculty of Engineering to create a new generation of smart engineers that work in different sectors of Japan. So now I would like to request Mr. Takeda and Abhiraj to give us an insight into the university.
Thank you, Kushi-san. And I'd like to start sharing the screen with you now. Okay.
Perfect. We can see your presentation.
Hello everyone. My name is Kiyoshi Takeda. I work at the Kyoto University of Advanced Science, Faculty of Engineering, International Admissions Directors. Today, I'm pleased to introduce our all new and exciting engineering programs. The good news is that our program is conducted 100% in English, not in the Japanese language. And at the time of your application, you don't have to have your prior Japanese language proficiency. And I hope that this will be encouraging enough for you to start considering our engineering school as your future college options. Let me introduce now, I'm really pleased to introduce one of our current engineering school or students, Abhiraj Shin, who is going to talk about his own experience at our engineering school. Okay. So here's today's agenda, which I'd like to cover, are studying why Kyoto and the Kyoto University of the Advanced Science, followed by KU's Faculty of Engineering, and like I said, Abhiraj Shin is going to talk about his own experience at KU's engineering schools. And also I'd like to cover tuition fees and contact details at the end of our presentation. So why Japan? Why engineering in Japan? To make a long story short, whether first class, mid-sized and large companies in Japan, they always look out for talented, qualified engineers. As you see, and there's a huge demand for qualified engineers in Japan. Statistically speaking, by 2030, it's been projected there'll be 790,000 too few engineers. So this is the reason that you should start thinking about Japan as your college destination and come to Japan and complete your engineering program, become full-fledged engineers to work for Japanese companies. Now is the best time. Let me talk about our Kyoto, our beautiful city, Kyoto, which is one of the most beautiful cities in the world, not only in Japan. Kyoto was the capital of Japan for 1,000 years, and Kyoto has a lot to offer, as you see here. And Kyoto is not only the town of tradition, actually the hub of world-class technology firms. As you see here, the best example, Nintendo, that produces the Pokemon, Animal Crossing, all these world famous gaming platform. And Nintendo is actually headquartered in Kyoto. and not only Nintendo, but also good news for future engineers is that there are a lot of other world-class companies headquartered in Kyoto, as you see here. Why this is important? Because these are great companies, firms, technology firms can be your future job opportunities if you choose come to Japan, come to choose Kyoto to complete your engineering programs with us. Let me talk about our university, Kyoto University of Advanced Science, KUAS for short. It has more than 53 years history. It's a Japanese government accredited private university, meaning that in any degree, the engineering degree that you earn with us at KUS will be transferred to any institutions as a recognized degree throughout the world, whether it's in UK, in the US, and Australia, of course in India. It's located in Kyoto Prefecture, and it has 3,600 students and offer programs in 5 faculties actually. But now we only focus on our engineering program as offered programs in English. And at our engineering school alone, we have approximately 200 international students from 40 countries, of course, including India. In fact, last year, we are so proud to share with you these statistics where we had 3 Indian students and as the very first generation back in 2021. But this is September in 2022, we are so pleased to see this number has shot up to as many as 10 Indian students, including 2 female students. I hope you can take this as a very encouraging news for you if you are start thinking about engineering programs conducted in English in Japan. And Abhiraj Shen, one of our current students who enrolled on our program, Abhiraj Shen, and he's originally from India, and he achieved 93% in the CBSE test scores, and we are so proud to have such academically talented students enrolled on our program. And also another Indian our students from is Nishta Rana Devi, and she's an Indian American. And she also has such a great academic scores, and she was offered at 100% in scholarships at KUS, like Abhiraj Shen. Okay. Let me briefly discuss the important features of our engineering programs. Number one, our program is conducted in 100% in English. Again, at the time of your application, you don't have to be too concerned about your Japanese language ability, because we don't take a look at your Japanese language command as a part of our admissions or reviewing process. And number two, we still offer you a great opportunity to learn the Japanese language as a part of your engineering regular curriculum, and in a way that is going to help you linguistically when it comes to job hunting for greater job opportunities available with the Japanese companies. Okay, well, let me show you or discuss what exactly we do on our programs. Now, our programs is very, very unique in the sense that you can learn all about important engineering expertise in just one place, Mechanical Electrical Systems Engineering Program of KUIS. To make a long story short, our program is offered in a combination of computer science and mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, without giving up any one of these without giving up on learning any one of these important engineering components. So at the end of the day, as our graduate, you'll be interested in developing end products like robots that are controlled by artificial intelligence, simply or better programming, or you may be interested in developing a more sophisticated drones, or over the increased sense of global climate. As our graduate, you may be interested in developing a more energy efficient electric cars. These are some of the typical examples that you may be interested, and you may be interested in developing and by taking advantage the knowledge and the skill that you earn on a program after graduation. And the quality KUS has a great partner with the universities throughout the world, as you see here. So our program is the highest quality, stands at the highest quality, even by world engineering educational standards. In fact, one of the top three reasons in among our current students who chose KUS is the curriculum futures, as you see here. And we are so proud to let you know that our current students chose KUS either first choice or second choice, because they are so focused on and they really like what we do at KUS Engineering Schools. To facilitate your understanding on our programs, I'd like to invite Abhiraj to talk about his own experience at our engineering school. Would you take it over, Abhi?
Thank you very much, Takeda-san, for that wonderful introduction to our university. And yeah, first of all, hello everyone. I'm Abhiraj Singh, second year student in the Faculty of Engineering at Kyoto University of Advanced Science, or KUAS. So like Takeda Sensei has already explained so well that how pursuing higher education in Japan opens numerous opportunities for passionate and talented engineers. So what I would basically talk about is about sharing a student perspective of how I, from just as a ordinary engineering aspirant, I started my journey to just look for opportunities to pursue higher education. Then Japan was my focus, and now that given an opportunity to learn here, how is my experience so far? So just a second, let me share my screen. All right. Okay. Yeah, I hope it's visible, right?
Yes.
So so to start, so first of all, let me share that just to brief about, as a student, what I thought then about why choosing Japan to pursue higher education. So Japan is a developed, technologically advanced country with a rich cultural heritage. Now note that here, this is a very rare combination to expect these days, definitely, where you have, the immense opportunities of technology and stuff, development on those smart things. And on the same hand, you also harmonize with the rich culture and heritage and history and all those, which is, yeah, just very rare. And another important thing, in addition to this, is that it is one of the safest countries in the world and one of the land of immense opportunities. So there are it's a manufacturing hub for various MNCs Speaking of Kyoto particularly, like Takeda-sensei already mentioned, Nidec, Nintendo are some of the famous companies headquartered here. Then coming to sharing my experience, how I, got inclined towards Japan. So honestly, I've been hearing about, I have heard about Japan, as a technologically leading countries. So just as a passive learner. Then when I was in class 6th, I started learning Japanese language in school, which further fascinated me towards the culture of Japan. Then in 2019, I was given this opportunity to participate in a student exchange program, in which that was my first visit to here. I visited Tokyo, Kyoto, and Nasu. So even though just for 2 weeks, it was enough for me to realize that Japan, and especially Kyoto, is a wonderful place to spend your student life. So just to brief it here, I opted for Japan as it is technologically advanced nation with a very practical approach to education and numerous job opportunities in global MNCs. Now, why KUS? I would say that I'm privileged to be a part of KUS, which was established under the able guidance of Mr. Shigenobu Nagamori, who is a well-known industrialist and philanthropist of Japan. Now, reminding me of that, I would like to share that it was a wonderful experience listening to him on his recent visit to our campus, so he took his valuable time and to address students, and his speech, and he narrating his entire story of how we grew Nidec into a world, a leading manufacturing company, was just so inspiring and motivating. Further, we have eminent faculty and unique capstone project, which gives third and fourth year students an opportunity to solve practical industrial problems. Now, this I personally feel is very important for as that whatever you have learned for now, this is an important opportunity where you can actually apply those skills. In addition to these, we also have in-school, namely Cornerstone and Flagstone projects, in which students can just get together. It doesn't matter. They can be from first year as well, second year, and so on. So if they have an idea, they just want to, they can either get together or just want to get in pairs or want to work alone, however it is. If they have an idea, just start building on it, make it happen. That's it. Yeah, so now speaking about my experience here till now. So KUS has a very well-structured international curriculum. Now here to note that is, unlike the existing universities which offer, that conventional engineering programs about mechanical, civil, electrical, and so on, KUS provides a combination of, two fundamental branches, mechanical and electronics engineering, which we commonly now know as mechatronics engineering. And this is one of the emerging fields, as you can, evidently see from the EVA revolution and related developments. In addition to this, of course, KU has, world-class facilities at laboratory, library, dormitory, and cafeteria, etc. Now, in addition to academics part, KUS also has a, very process-driven and well-defined approach to things. So for example, international office, student affairs office, educational affairs, or the career support center, which, help students with, all to just make their university life smooth. This, I feel, this aspect is equally important as how the academics part of the institution is. So at last, I would just like to say that if you choose to be with KUS, you will have a great learning experience and wonderful platform for practical learning. So my best wishes with you all, and thank you very much.
Let me continue to our. Am I audible? Yes. So let me continue to discuss our tuition costs and our scholarship programs available with us. So tuition cost is around $14,000 per year on average, which makes our tuition costs almost at the most affordable levels by world standards. And as you see here, and here's our entry requirements for undergraduates. Given the nature of engineering programs throughout the world, we require any applicants to have a comprehensive understanding of physics and math, equivalent to high school levels. Preferably, students needs to have a comprehensive understanding of in these areas like algebra, geometry, play calculus, statistics, force and motion, waves, electricity, and magnetism atom structures. And in terms of English proficiency requires for admission applications for our programs is TOEFL IBT 75, IELTS 5.5, Duolingo at 5105. The good news is if you've been taught more than 3 years in your schools English as the academic media, and you could make waiver requests because of that. And here are application documents, and they are quite straightforward. And you can upload all these necessary documents on our portal site at the time of your application, starting with ID photo, number 2 application essay, number 3 transcript, and number 4 certificates of expected graduates. And then number 5, you could upload your predicted results, test scores like CBSE, ICSE, or International Baccalaureate, or state board exams. Or alternatively, you can upload SAT, ACT scores as well. Number 6, evidence of English proficiency, and number 7 are 1 letter of recommendation, or number 8, a passport copy if available. Now here's an important application timelines for the intake of September 2023. We have 3 multiple windows for the September intake next year, and the early entry already closed this year. But we are going to have 2 upcoming regular entry windows. One of which in the regular entry that will start on December 1st, and the final entry will start on February 13th. And already while all our tuition levels already at the most affordable levels by world standards, you can be very confident about the financial aspects to come to our KUS engineering schools. But only for those who are academically best prepared students, we do run scholarship programs like you see here in the form of a tuition reduction by 30%, 50%, 100%. And here's the criteria for scholarship and admissions. We take a holistic reviewing process to make decisions for those scholarships and also admissions. Number 1, overall strong GPA and good track records in physics and math. Also notable CBSE or ICS, IB, SAT state board scores. Also, if to be a qualified scholarship, you need to demonstrate your strong determination to pursue studies at KUS. And also you need to demonstrate your great performance if you are invited to an online interview with our professors. Again, for us to make a decision on scholarship admission, we take a holistic reviewing process. Let me emphasize that we don't have any single criteria for us to use to make our decisions. Here's a photo from our beautiful international dormitories. I hope you like it. And I'll pause here, and because here is the contact details for KUS engineering schools. And if you like, and then you can take a snapshot of this page, and then you can contact us directly for your further questions and concern. Okay.
Fine.
Okay, thank you very much. I'd let the floor open to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Takeda and Abhiraj, for the presentation. I hope students got an insight into KUAS. And most of the questions are answered in the Q&A portal, but there are still a couple of questions I would like to ask you. So first, is there any program for students interested in medicine?
Unfortunately, no, we don't offer programs in medical areas, sorry.
Could you give a brief introduction to the graduate programs in engineering at KUAS?
Sure. We do run programs for postgraduate students in engineering as well. And if you are interested in I hope you can have time to check out our website to know more about the details. And in fact, we have two multiple windows every year for application windows, and actually one of which actually has just closed. And if you are interested, we do have one other application window which is upcoming. And so if you're interested, I'd highly recommend you to check our website as quickly as possible.
Thank you. Are students supposed to apply for the scholarship before enrollment or after enrollment? What is the procedure like?
Very straightforward. Unlike some other universities, we are at the time of your application online, we will asking you automatically or whether you want a scholarship or not online, and all you have to do is just click, and that's just click, and you can complete the application for a scholarship.
Thank you. And does KUAS accept students from India, Bangladesh, Nepal?
Yes.
This is one of the questions in the Q&A.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And actually, if you remember in my presentation, we do have students from 40 different countries, including India and Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Nepal, and Sri Lanka, and Indonesia, from just about all countries in the world.
Thank you very much. I'd also like to add to what Takeda-san said, that many people who have been attending these webinars, they saw the presentation of KUAS and were encouraged to apply to the universities and are now studying in KUAS, and they're doing engineering there. So I would highly encourage students to look into all the universities who have presented today, and not only because of the quality of education that they offer, but also the financial assistance they provide international students. Takeda-san, I think most of the questions are answered in the Q&A portal. So thank you so much for the presentation. And hopefully students will also contact you in the email address that you have provided. I have shared links of KUAS as well in the chat box. So students, please feel free to check those links anytime. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Takeda and Abhiraj, for the presentation.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening, everyone.
So that brings us to the end of the presentations and the webinar. Thank you to all the panelists and attendees for participating in today's webinar. The recordings of the webinars conducted earlier and this webinar are uploaded to the University of Tokyo India office site. These webinars might take time to be uploaded. So thank you for your patience. Please be patient and check the India office site regularly, and all the updates will be made very soon. So thank you so much for attending today's webinar. The link is also shared in the chat box. If you want to go to the University of Tokyo India office website. The next webinar is scheduled for 12th November, which is a Saturday, I suppose. So please register for the webinar using the QR code here. And we hope to see you in the next webinar as well. Thank you so much for your questions, and thank you to all the representatives of the university for presenting today and giving students an insight into your university and the life in Japan. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kushi. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.